In this behind-the-scenes look at how the BBC's Panorama programme gathers and puts together its stories, our cameras follow the actions of reporter John Sweeney and reveal a side of the BBC that is both dark and disturbing.
My name's John Sweeney and I work for the BBC. As a BBC reporter, I will say that my organisation is at times hideously hidebound with stupid bureaucracy. There are people there who claim salaries who frankly are morons.
No, Jimmy, you stop! No, listen to me! You were not there at the beginning of that interview!
I reacted under pressure to your attempt to brainwash me.
If the BBC casts its blessing on something, it is blessed. And if it doesn't, it is damned.
And that's something that does cause me worry, and that's where, of course, the media is very powerful.
At the same time, with this power comes responsibility, and that responsibility is seriously lacking. Where? In the BBC.
They have dumbed down their best shows, so they've dumbed them out of all recognition.
The story begins in London, 1st of March 2007. An email from the BBC's John Sweeney arrives at the Church of Scientology, requesting a meeting and informing them that they are the subject of his next assignment. Willing to grant full access to all of their churches and activities, 2 senior Scientology executives fly from church headquarters in Los Angeles to meet with Panorama reporter John Sweeney and his producer Sarah Mole to talk about their plans. They convene at St. Hill Manor, once the home of Scientology's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, and now the site of the Scientology College in England. Executives begin briefing Sweeney and Mole and offer help in the development of Panorama's story.
I could take you to American on Arrowhead. I could take you to Clearwater. I could take you to, Los Angeles, to our, major churches there.
Knowing the best way to evaluate any group is through its activities, church executives insist that Sweeney and Mole join them again in London the next day for a more extensive briefing on its churches and social betterment programs.
All right, good. Well, we should dive into it. We've got a full agenda today. Yeah.
Sweeney and Mole hear about the nearly 100,000 registered Scientology volunteer ministers who have traveled to 115 nations delivering aid to disaster victims.
So that's the volunteer ministers. So now we're going into human rights.
They see the church's international human rights campaigns, including a series of educational public service announcements. They're shown the way to happiness, a moral code written by L. Ron Hubbard with 70 million copies in distribution.
This is the Way to Happiness headquarters. The foundation operates out of there.
It's one of many places church executives invite Panorama to tour.
Now we're going to jump into the educational programs like learning literacy. It's called Applied Scholastics.
They see church-sponsored educational programs that provide effective learning tools to educators and students worldwide. And a drug prevention campaign supplying educational materials and solutions to countries in desperate need of help. They see the scope of Scientology in major cities around the world, including many newly opened churches. Armed with books, brochures, and DVDs, Sweeney and Mole promise to send an email detailing what they would like to cover. No email arrives, but 3 days later, the team from the BBC shows up a continent away.